Thank you. Thank you. I must say that the distinguished company and the incredibly important words that have been already spoken, it's very difficult to stand up here and to think that I can do any better. It's an honor to be here. I am the new kid on this block, but I've spent quite a bit of time serving several presidents in the area of the Middle East, and to be honored to be on the dais with these distinguished former government officials and representatives, it means a lot. But let me tell you why I decided to step forward. When I first came up to work in the U.S. government, I worked on the Refugee Subcommittee for Senator Ted Kennedy. I had the honor of working for him for 7 years. With him, I went around the world, walking through refugee camps and learning the importance of defending the rights of people who've been victimized by dictators and despots. And I know that his son, Patrick, has been an admirable champion on the cause of justice and liberty that you came here today to represent. If Senator Kennedy were alive, I dare say, he would say to me, Mark, justice needs to be done. These people deserve to be protected. I must be out there, and this president must listen to the cries of people who deserve justice. The Middle East, at this point in time, is a dangerous place, and it's made all the more dangerous because, in some respects, my friends in the administration, who I respect and admire and work with, and have worked with for almost 40 years, have made the error, have committed the error of subcontracting out the fate of these people to forces that do not have their best interests at heart. Whether it's on the 7th floor of the State Department or old executive office building where the young staffers are trying to protect the inspiration that brought them to the White House in the first place, and that is, we are going to engage with Iran. We are going to do what we can to change the conduct of Iran's behavior to the rest of the world. They did everything they could to reach out to Tehran, and what they got back in return was a slap of the hand. I say to my friends in the administration who still think that today avoiding a delisting would somehow or other protect them from being able to declare their engagement policy a failure, they must come to the realization that the shelf life on that policy has expired. It is not fair to the American people that Iran and not the United States seems to control the decision over whether or not we delist and do what is right. It is inappropriate that somehow or other we may fall into the delusional policy of believing that by delisting we protect the government of Iraq, when in the end all we're doing is appeasing the likes of Muqtada al-Sadr, who is the instrument of Iran in Iraq, and who probably is holding a gun to the head of Maliki and the rest of the government doing Iran's bidding when it comes to the protection, comes to essentially declaring war on these people who deserve better. And it's time to admit we must take back control over our own foreign policy. Subcontracting the fate of these people because of illusional expectations of what we may achieve by not delisting, the time, my friends in the administration, it's come to an end. I think at this point in time, I think that I say to you, as someone who has participated in the foreign policy formulation of our government in the Middle East, The courts have spoken. The people who surround me are distinguished Americans. The people who have studied this issue are prominent attorneys, thoughtful individuals, and sincere in their desire to do the right thing. The fact that my friends in this administration are dragging their feet, are doing nothing more than maintaining the illusion that they're doing the right thing, when in the end, all that they're doing, in the name of protecting a policy that is no longer viable. I do not believe that Senator Kennedy, who was the champion of this president and helped him get elected, would condone the idea of accepting a policy that would permit, either directly or indirectly, by omission or commission, harm coming to innocent people who do deserve much better from the U.S. government. He would not stand for it, his son does not stand for it, and the people who worked for him would not stand for it. Let me finish, because I've taken far too much time, and say that Congress has been patient, and you have been patient. It comes down to some things that we in this city long understand. When you ask the administration to listen and they refuse to listen, now it's time that people like me, who were staffers up here for 7 years, know how to write legislation. It's important to get members of Congress who've co-sponsored these resolutions to find the first legislative vehicle, perhaps the defense budget that the President has submitted, to make sure that both the Secretary of State and the White House understand that patience has run out. Thank you very much.